Hey guys, welcome back. Or should I say, I'm back. Got through our show, was it last weekend? Not this weekend that we just had, but obviously the last weekend. And we spent all of last week cleaning up and taking pictures and trying to put all my stuff online for sale that I didn't sell. We did good. You know, we did over 2,000, so I'm happy about that, but I was honestly hoping for more. Isn't that what we all want? So I'm finally in here today trying to figure out something to make for you guys, and I thought I'd make a colorful flower. So I started making the Skinner blends, because you guys have seen Skinner blends everywhere, so I know you guys know how to make them. And I pulled out some bright colors. I have a container here. I don't know if you can see that. But it's all the scraps that I had that were laying around. So I went ahead and conditioned them and put them in layers in here. So now obviously I am trying to use them up. And I was thinking I want to do either purple for the main flower, this being in the middle, and then maybe put a little bit of green like leaves on the side. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. Or I was going to do the purple with the green, which I really like that too. So whatever I have the most of is what I'll use. So I've got to go through this little thing. But anyways, so again, the show was pretty cool. We did well. It was so busy. And the AGT, whatever, drone guys that were on AGT, they were there. And that grew like the biggest crowd for that Saturday night. But the weather was perfect. We had a little bit of wind. But we had the shoe racks that we got from IKEA, I think it was. And I put my necklace displays on it. And you know how they got that cardboard in the back to hold them up. So we took like a little tiny clip and we clipped them to the shoe rack. We had no problems with any of our displays falling. So that turned out really well. The earrings were a hit. I sold mostly earrings. A couple bracelets. Maybe a few necklaces. But other than that, it was pretty much earring night. And yeah. So this week, however, we come back to all kinds of stuff. Here, let me grab some blue because I don't have enough, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, guys. So we are back, and we went ahead and made a couple Skinner blends. That's the main one. This one's going to go in the center, and these are going to come off to the side. So the colors that I used on this one is just a peacock pearl and white. Obviously, you get the little gradient in there. This was just some bright green pearl with white, and I covered it with some dark green so that it would stand out. And this is just orange and yellow. Again, I'm just using scraps today. So I'm going to cover all of this in a darker piece of pearl. But I thought I'd add all the elements in first, right? I like to make this a little fatter. So we're just gonna kind of shove it down here and give us a little bit more surface space. Been so long since I've made a flower. Okay, so we're going to cut that down. Hopefully it's the middle. You know me and my lines. Yeah, see? It's just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay, that's a little bit more down the center on both sides, I think. Sometimes it's just funny. It's funny the things that I do. All right, so I want to put this flower in the middle right here. So I'm just going to make a little indentation somewhere in here. More on the top. And then we're going to see if I like it where I put it. Okay, I'm thinking that's okay. So I just want to push this all the way in. Okay, so that should work. I might go a little longer. I'm just gonna set this on top like that. This might need to be a little bigger. So what I'm going to do, since this is all peacock pearl up here, I'm just going to cut a slice and set it on there. And then I'll probably do the same with this one. Just to help fill that in a little bit. Okay. I'm just going to close the top up like that. Okay, and obviously I want the round top to keeping it round, which is the hardest for me without flattening that top. Okay, so on this side I just want to cut like a little bit off here and a little bit off here to put these kind of on the side. This is why I kind of wanted this a little thicker on the front. So we're going to reduce this, but we're going to reduce it really thin. And it's only going to be maybe about 3/4 of an inch high. So we got a little bit of reducing to do. I'll probably take half of what's in that container and just try and make a bunch of Skinner blends today of all of them. And then we'll either do more flowers, we can do kaleidoscope canes. So, you know, when I left off, I forgot to finish. So, Saturday night, just sitting around and stuff like that, and Jake, the little guy, starts to pant. And I have never heard this dog pant before. Couldn't figure out what was wrong, but obviously something was hurting him. And then Sunday afternoon, when we looked at him, he had like his eyes, he had a big lump right under his eye. And I'm like, okay, did he get into a lizard? Because we did find a lizard in a bush, and he went after it and was in that bush for a while, so I don't know if it bit him. So I kept an eye on him overnight. And then Monday morning when I woke up, boy, it like doubled in size. And it's like, okay. So I ended up calling our vet, did not have an opening. Called another vet, didn't have an opening. And then I called the emergency vet, you know, the one that didn't take Bandit that night. And they were able to get me in. So we went in there, and apparently he had an abscessed tooth. And it was like, oh, great. You know, he's going to lose some teeth now. And so I could have brought him back. And I figured, you know what? I'm already here. I don't want it to get worse. You know, don't want it to move into his brain or anything like that. So let's just do it. So they went in and did surgery on him. They extracted 2 teeth. And he had a lipoma on the back of his hind leg. It was like right on his left on his butt. It was about that size. I mean, it was big. It was like a size of $1, like a coin. And it stuck up about that much. It's just a fatty tumor, basically. And it was like, you know what, if it's safe, and only if you feel that it's safe, can we get that removed too? So he was doing really good under anesthesia, so they went ahead and did it. It was probably almost a 3-hour surgery. Now I'm here freaking out because I didn't think it was going to take that long, and they were supposed to call me. They called me twice to let me know that he was doing good, he was stable, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay. And they said, well, he hasn't woken up yet. So then, of course, I'm really freaking out because, you know, he's not waking up from the anesthesia. Which all they got to do is shoot him with some, what's it called? Antisedan, something like that. And that would wake him up within like 15-20 minutes. So I don't know if they gave it to him. But anyways, I finally picked him up around, oh gosh, the surgery was done. They wanted to keep him overnight. I said, no. You know, I'd rather be able to monitor him than to be alone all night. And I think there's like a nurse there, but I wasn't sure. And I just like them better when they're home. So, brought him home last night with his little cone of shame. And, yeah. So, needless to say, my doctor bill was $1,600. So, as you can see, I'm going to be making a lot of cane. And I'm going to put these on site as soon as I make them. Because I got to pay off $1,600 now. So thank goodness for Care Credit. I was able to use that. And I got 6 months and no interest. So that was really nice to have. Okay, I don't know why that's kind of messing with this. I think it's just the way I'm pushing it in. I think it's just the outside. But anyway, so I got a leaf right there. And I wanted to do the same to this side. So this one looks better. So yeah, if you guys want any cane, it will be up. I'm also going to do a couple more mystery boxes. But because people wouldn't listen, the first time I went up, I said that they had to order it separate because I wasn't going to pay free shipping on them. And that never happened. Everybody just kept ordering them, not realizing that they had to order it separate than any other cutters that they separate. So I've added the shipping into these, and instead of $25, I'm just doing this one for $35. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 containers that I dumped into a box. So there's going to be a lot of them that are like embossed. There's going to be regular ones. There's going to be all different sizes. I'll put some small ones in, some big ones in. And those will probably go up later on today. Actually, probably after I'm done with this cane. And I just got to get it done. So If you guys want any mystery boxes, they will be up later today. All right, so that's our cane. How this is going to turn out, I don't know. This is going to be a nice cane for something else I can use that for. Might be able to, I don't know, make that into a leaf, or we'll just use it for a center of one of our flowers. So let me go get some peacock pearl to wrap this whole thing. And yeah, you see we've got air bubbles, but I think these are going to end up working their way out. So I'm not going to worry about if their placement is perfect or anything like that. It's a flower, it's homemade, right? It may not be perfect, but I think it's going to look good. So let me get some peacock pearl and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so here is the final flower. I took the peacock pearl, I ran it at a number 4. I was going to run it at a 3, but I didn't have enough to go all the way around, and I didn't want to open up another container of peacock pearl. So now we're going to reduce this, and I think I'm going to try and do 7 to 8 flowers. Since I got these leaves right here, we're going to see how far we can get with our petals. So if I need 8, you know, that's going to be what? Oh my God, I think I ran like 12 inches, I think, to do. 1.5, 3. So there would be 6. There would be 9. Yeah. 10, 11, 12. So I need to go to 12 inches. I thought I made this flower a lot bigger than I normally make, but every time it doesn't seem to work out that way. I put a little bit of white here in the middle just so I know where the bottom is all the way across. So we're going to reduce this and we will be back as soon as we're done. So my buddy just came into the office, so I'm still reducing this, but I thought I'd show you his little cone of shame. Excuse my office, I've got everything from the show still in here. But you can still see the swelling on the side of his face. I don't know why that didn't leave after the extraction, but they did a whole teeth cleaning extraction, and then this was the thing on his back end over here. So he's got about, I don't know, he's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 staples, so they cut a big chunk out right there, poor thing. But he's not liking the cone. So any of you guys that have had dogs that had to wear cones, how long do you leave it on for? Until the stitches come out? Or can I take it off a little sooner? I tried to take it off last night so that he could sleep, but he kept reaching back and trying to lick at the staples, and I don't want him, obviously, to pull them out. So I had to put him back in that one. I had a cloth one, but it just seemed like it was choking him. So I ended up putting that back on. But yeah, as you can see with his face, he is not a happy camper. So we might end up taking a nap after we make this flower just to get some of the rest that we didn't get last night. But anyways, I'm going to go back and I'm going to reduce. I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so we have it past 12 inches. We got a lot of area that needs to be cut off. So we're just going to do a final stretching of everything. Make sure that they're all even. And then hopefully we will have enough to do 8 on this flower. I still got to figure out a centerpiece on this. Okay, well, this is a little squishy, right? So this a little squished up, but you know what? That's okay. So I got it to 12 inches, so I just want to make sure I've got enough. So it'll be 1.5 would be 3, 4.5 and 6, 7.5 and 9. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think we've got enough, right? Tell me I'm right, guys. 12 inches, I need 8. Alright, I gotta get a piece of paper. I don't know, my brain is gone. Hold on. Okay, yeah. I had to just sit and use my fingers here. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, obviously, so I'm a little brain dead today. And I do want to circle these, or make the top a little bit more rounded. So one more, and hopefully, oh, nice. Okay, so we got enough here. That's a little bigger. I don't make flowers with 8 ever, so I'm not sure how big that center is going to have to be here. I mean, I could even do 7. It's going to be a big center. Okay, so I think we'll do some, I don't know, blue, yellow, and orange. So I can take this piece right here. And maybe try and round it out a little bit. Okay, we may have to scrap that. I think I'm just gonna do a bullseye cane. So let me make that. I'm gonna use yellow, orange, and probably cover it in the blue. So give me a second. Let me go ahead and make a quick bullseye cane. Okay, so we made just a quick bullseye cane with the yellow and the orange. And I don't need to go all the way up. Okay. Now I could take this and make them all little cute, like, make a bunch of these as square, or not as squares, just a bunch of these circles and put them all back together again, or I could just leave it like this. So I'll see what it looks like when I get it cut. Okay, so got a little piece missing right here. So we're just going to add that to that. This is going to be so small, you're not going to notice it anyways. Okay, so I can put it in just like that in the center. Obviously, it's going to have to be a little smaller. I think I like that. And it'll be faster. And I've got a huge air bubble somewhere in the middle here. So we're going to squish this down. Hopefully get rid of it. Feels really nice to be back in here creating. Especially with everything that's been going on, it's just been a really nice escape. But I do have to get this website going. I mean, I have a website and I have 2 Etsy stores. One obviously is just for cutters, but the other one is jewelry and stuff like that, and I really want to build that because it's just stupid, you know, to literally have everything in a box and you're just saving it for a show. It's like, it's dumb. It really is, and I got to stop doing that. I got to start selling these year round because I'm going to keep creating all year round. And if I just save everything, then I'm just creating more and more that I have to display that I can't when you get to a show. You get to a show and you only got, like, you know, 2 tables for everything. All right, so I'm just kind of looking at this to see how much smaller. I know they're not set up really pretty yet. going to try something really quick before we settle on that. I'm going to try and make 7 pieces on this. Jake's finally laying down, but he's not closing his eyes. I hate that he's uncomfortable. And complete, what did they do? A complete tooth cleaning above and below the gums. 2 extractions. I'm sure it's got to hurt. And they didn't give me any pain meds for him. They gave me a anti-inflammatory and antibiotics. Okay, we're going to just try this one right here. But he just looks miserable. I'm going to do 1 inch. Because if it works out okay, then I think I can make it big enough and use that other piece that's already in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I can do this right here. See if I like this better. I know you're not going to be able to really see this yet, but okay, well, the only reason I'm trying to do this is to see if I'm going to like it better, but okay, fine. Let's just do that. I'll stick that right there. I know it's not going to sit in there very well, but I don't know. Either way would be cute. So I could do this. All right, let me do this. Not sure I'm going to have enough to do that. That might not be too bad. I could put a really thin piece, like a number 7, on this end right here. I just need like 3 more pieces. So if I can get 2 out of this one, I should be able to get 1 out of that one. This is why you should always work bigger, because then you can make these things and not worry about running out. Okay. Let's try this one. And again, if I don't like it, then I'll just use the solid, because I had to reduce it anyways, so. Yeah, this is why I like making 5, 6, 7 at the most when I do my flowers. 8 is a little too much for me, but I wanted these kind of even. Not that I think it'll matter, but All right, so I can probably get one more in there. And unfortunately, these are all going to get squished up as you go. All right, so let's go ahead now and reduce this. Kind of like a sunflower. Again, start out big and then reduce as you go. Because once you reduce it too small, unless it's just a standard bullseye, it's hard to go back. Okay, so I need 1.5 inches, right? I know that it's too big right now, but this is just our starting point. Okay, so there's going to be 4 on top. All right, 4 on bottom. And we still got a lot of space in between each one, so I'm going to go a little smaller. So I'm just going to take this like 1/2 inch at a time. So we want to get this to 2 inches. And you are going to cut a little bit off on the ends, so go a little bit past 2 inches. All right, so we need 1.5 again. Actually, I'm going to start rounding out my edges. Jake is a fly catcher, and we have a fly loose somewhere in my office, and he's going a little crazy trying to get to it. You can hear it buzzing all over the place. Okay, I don't like the way that's sitting. Oh, but it might just fit. Might have to go just a tad bit smaller. Okay, so everything has got to kind of line up with the flowers. Okay, we're just going to go a little bit more, and I think we got it. I wish there was a formula to tell you what size these should be, but I guess when I'm done, I can measure how big this is in diameter. I don't want to go too much, so another 2 inches should be fine. And then again, cut it at 1.5. All right, so now we have to make this work. Okay, so now we're just going to put this all together. And yeah, I'm trying to round out my flowers a little bit. Okay, and make these edges nice and straight. So this, I'm going to say, is about a half an inch. So maybe that'll be a good guide point. So if you do 8 petals, make your center about half an inch. And of course, all this is going to get squished into each other, so it should fit a little bit better once the flower starts to get into the assembly mode. Move you over. Okay, you can see how that's kind of sitting. For now, I'm just going to get them in here. And then I'll have to figure out how they're going to sit in there. Seems like everybody likes buying flowers more than they do kaleidoscope. I sell more flowers than the others, so I might have to concentrate on making a bunch of flowers this week, just to get some in the store. Okay guys, so there is our flower. So the hardest part is to get them to line up where they need to go. Okay, and then turn it over. Do the same with this. Just make sure they're sitting straight up. This guy's a little off on the side. This one's off a little bit. There you go. Okay, so there's our flower on one side and our flower on the other side. Looks pretty good. All right, so now we're just gonna put some translucent around in between the pearl or the petals right here, and then wrap it all, and we'll go ahead and reduce it. So let me go ahead and put the translucent around it, and we'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so we've got some conditioned translucent. This is the white translucent. And now I'm just going to make my little triangle. And these are going to be thin, because there's not a whole lot of room to fill. But I want a kind of fat top. So I'm just pushing down on the top. Obviously I need to make about 8 of these. Okay, so we're just gonna start See how it's kind of curved on the side? I'm hoping that that'll help kind of keep the petals rounded. This might be still just a little too big. All right, I'm going to cut these up. Because I don't need a whole lot in the middle. These can get a little time consuming, as you can see. Will it work in the end? I don't know. I have such a hard time getting them to stay. But I am really heavy-handed when I make my flowers too, so. Okay, well, that just happened to cut at 1.5 inches, so. Are you thirsty, dude? I don't know if this guy's been drinking any water, but he's licking his lips like crazy. So I think I might have to go grab a syringe and give him some water. I don't know if he's afraid if the cold water will hurt his teeth or not. That's one thing I hate about animals is you don't know how they're feeling. I guess apparently today's a street cleaning day, which is really stupid. They just started this up again. And it's not stupid that they're cleaning the street, but they're making people, I mean, usually people do it where they do one side one day, the other side the other day, so people can park across the street or something like this. But no, you can't park anywhere in the whole neighborhood on a Tuesday in the street. And it's like, where do you expect people to put their cars? So there's a big ruckus going on in the city, and people are trying to get that amended or something, because a lot of people are getting tickets, but they got nowhere to go. You can't park a mile away and then walk home. So there's a lot of upset people. Thank goodness we just have enough room in our driveway to put our vehicles, but there's a lot of people that have family, you know, and everybody in the family drives. We were there until my son moved out, and he had 2 cars, and then my husband's got his vehicle and a work truck, and then I've got my vehicle. So there's always a car in front of our house, and unfortunately in front of our neighbor's house, who didn't mind, thank goodness. But Yeah, that wouldn't have been able to happen. They really need to clean these sewers and not just the street. All right, let's make this a little higher up. Yeah, sorry this part's taking a little longer. But you guys have the option to forward if you don't want to watch this part. Sometimes I wish I could forward it and get through all the tedious part. But I kind of like the tedious part. And I have not had a flower that has really turned out horribly. I've had some that have turned out that I won't turn around and sell. But they weren't horrible. They just weren't up to par for me to sell them, in my opinion. Those are the ones that I usually sell for like $2 or $3. But I could also be too hard on myself and my work. Obviously, I do that a lot. Alright, so let's see if we can get this. Nope, I think I'm going to add a little more. All we need is one more, guys, and then we will pause as I reduce this flower. And then obviously I may take these same colors and make some really pretty leaves that would coincide with these. All right. So we got that one in there. Yeah, it's a little too conditioned. Well, that's weird. Okay, so as you can see, as you're putting those in, these all kind of move around. So you just got to reline them up. One, two, three, four, 6, 7. All right, that's about the best I'm going to get it. Okay. And this is a strip. I already measured it out, so it should fit just fine. Alrighty, guys, there is our flower. So I'm going to go reduce this, and we'll come back when we cut it up. See you in a bit. Hey guys, we are ready for the reveal. So I'll make these all about 2 inches, and they're about 5/8 in diameter. I'm not going to look at them. Never look at them until I'm completely done. And then I like being a little surprise right there. Alright, so since that one isn't quite 2 inches, I will keep that one for me. And we're going to stack these up like this. Take a look. Aw. Okay, so they're a little different. I don't like the 8. I don't know why. I do not like the 8 petals. They're cute, but they're more like a burst flower. And I just, yeah, I don't like the 8. I think I'm going to stick to my 6 and 7. But anyways, those are our little flowers for the day. So if you guys like them, let me know in the comment that you like them. And I will go ahead and put these up on Etsy. So it's going to be my Me and the Mutts Etsy page. I can't put it on my Creative Dork page because I've got the amount of categories that I'm allowed to have, which I wish they didn't have a limit on that. But they do. And so it'll be on the Me and the Mutts Etsy and probably on my website. I'll put half of them on each spot. So wherever anybody goes is where they'll be. So hope you guys like that, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.